Hey YouTube. Recently I went to go see Doctor Strange in the movie theater, a movie I'm sure several people are going to see. This video isn't meant to talk about Doctor Strange, although it's a fantastic movie. I'm sure there's a million videos out there about that movie. What this video is while I went to go see Doctor Strange, I became aware of something that had actually been bothering me for some time. And that was that while I was sitting waiting for the movie to start, that the amount of advertisement that's literally shoved down the viewer's throat. Growing up, movies have been such a big part of my life. They're one of my greatest escapes. They're something that I love dearly. They're just as much a part of me as my hair or any of my skin. I feel that passionately about movies. And some of my fondest memories growing up were when my parents would take me to go see a movie, whether it was at the drive-in theater or a regular theater, or even before a VHS tape. This is when you would sit down and you would get, 6 or 7 previews for upcoming movies coming up. The thing that was great about that is it was like you were getting a bunch of tiny movies, a bunch of before your movie. So you got this kind of like moment of wonder and this moment where you could turn to the person next to you and be a mini movie critic and be like, hey, that movie looks good, or you know what, I don't really want to go see that movie because it looks like it's this and I don't like that, or so on. And so it kind of gave this thing that gave us a sense of community within, like, going to see a movie together. You could sit there and you could talk about these little bits and they would get you excited. But as years have gone on, we started seeing, I think I remember the first commercial I ever saw was a Coca-Cola commercial at the movie theater, and it was before a movie, and it was, one of those polar bear ones around Christmas time where the polar bear is going about and they get a Coke and yay all as well. And I recall feeling at the time that it was kind of funny. It was kind of humorous, but it didn't really intrude at the time. But as years have gone by, you've seen less and less previews before a movie. You might see 1 or 2, and you see more and more commercials. And we're not even talking about they're catering to the fact that you're in a theater or they're somehow being entertaining. No, they're the exact same commercials we see on TV. And I find it really jarring, really frustrating. I understand that theaters need to make money, and I understand that movie companies need to make money, but movies make money off of product placement within the movies, which are advertisements in and of themselves. But they're just not so in your face about it. And to make things worse, a little while back, movies started having trivia games before the movies as well. Things where, like, you might see a fuzzy image on the screen and everybody has to guess who it is. Well, recently they've created apps. For example, Cineplex here in Canada uses what's called Time Play. And on Time Play, it used to be, say you were going to see Suicide Squad. Now, Suicide Squad has Will Smith in it. So some of the questions and trivia might be related to, say, the director or other actors that are about to be in the movie you see. So you might see Will Smith was in, the following movies, and you have to select them all as quickly as possible. And it might say Independence Day, Hitch, The Truth About Lying, or, something of that matter. And so that was kind of fun because, again, it was another way to have this community where everybody was guessing about the movies. And your movie knowledge and going to see several movies paid off because you had that knowledge to use towards that game. And it kind of made it fun because then you would win points towards movies. And so that was brilliant. To me, that was like, okay, well, we have this advertising thing, but hey, at least we still have this to entertain you before your film. But now, the last 3 times I've gone, even though that game had been turned into advertisements for telecommunications companies, for gas companies, for car companies, and there wasn't a single question about the movie I was going to see. So it seems that they've yet again looked for another way to take advantage of advertising it and pull in money. And it's really disheartening. We've gone from, as I said, this communal community where you could sit and turn next to the person next to you, or even if you don't know them, you could hear the person next to you talk to their friend maybe, and they're talking about saying, hey, that movie looked great, that movie looked great, oh, I really love that actor. To now, it's just kind of like everybody just mumbles, they're looking at their cell phone and waiting for the movie to start. And it's disheartening. And I sit there and I try and wonder where will this end? At what point, like, is it going to get bad enough that the in movie product placement is going to be like, well, pause. Like, are we going to have an intermission within a movie and just be like, hey, this movie, in case you forgot, is brought to you by Toyota or Ford or Verizon or Bell. You know, I would like to say that they would never do that, but I feel more and more that that's kind of what we're looking at these days. Um, anyways, that's about all I had to say. So I'm curious as to what you think. What was your favorite movie you saw as a child? What preview left a lasting memory in your head? Leave the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, what have you. Thank you. Awesome.